What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is the biggest target of cyber attacks in the whole Asia-Pacific region, with 15,000 of them every second. U.S.-based information security company Fortinet says attacks against Taiwan account for more than half of all incidents in the region, and they're up about 80% over last year. Fortinet warns hackers are changing their approach and using more targeted attacks to maximize damage. The company says Taiwanese business should use AI and automated systems to stay ahead of the hackers. A driverless race car designed by Taiwanese students has placed second at a competition in the Czech Republic. The event, called Formula Student, gets contestants to build a car for an imaginary investor. The Taiwan student's car can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 2.7 seconds. That comes close to the performance of a Tesla sports car. The students say they're already eyeing their next competition.
目前正在努力地完成车检，希望接下来几天的赛程能够一切顺利。
Officials are hunting for a tiny aquatic bug, often called the brain-eating amoeba. That's after a Taipei woman died from an infection 2 weeks ago. John Ben Trieste has more.
Health inspectors in New Taipei are on a rare mission. They think this local indoor water park might harbor a deadly microscopic creature, one that hasn't been seen in Taiwan in over a decade. Known to scientists as Negleria fowleri, it's more commonly known as the brain-eating amoeba. A woman who recently swam here was infected by the bug, which lives in warm, stagnant water. She died August 1st, making hers the first fatal case in Taiwan in 12 years. Inspectors have shut the place down and ordered it disinfected. They've also contacted over 600 recent visitors. So far, no one else has shown signs of infection. To figure out what happened, they're testing water samples. The first batch has come back negative, but it could be Monday before the results for all 56 samples come in.
裁剪是指阴性，是不是代表其他的一个水质也是水质检验的结果是阴性？这个没有办法确认。我们是在不同的一个位置来做一些相关的一些裁剪。那我们希望呢，这些裁剪的一个位置呢，能够涵盖大部分的一个范围。
The death rate among those infected is nearly 100%, but infection is rare, caused when contaminated water gets in the nose.
它主要会沉积在这个池底或湖的底下，所以尽量是避免去搅动这个底部的池水或淤泥，跑到就是水面比较高的地方，然后造成有可能进入鼻腔而造成感染。
The authorities are urging people to be aware of the risk, but also to stay calm, as health officials look for the source of infection. Andy Xue and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
To find out more about the so-called brain-eating amoeba and what risk it poses to public health, John Ben Trieste spoke to a tropical medicine expert at National Yangming Jiaotong University, Professor Ji Dade.
So what is a so-called brain-eating amoeba and where can they be found?
它主要的一个分布是在水 water body 或者是 soil 在土壤里头。 它在自然的环境，它是正常就会存在的。在环境的分布来讲，就是rare 不是很多，那可是就是它是一个 random 的一个分布。
So what does it take to get infected by one of these brain-eating amoeba, and what are the symptoms?
就从嗅神经走源，然后直接从鼻腔，然后到脑部。一般来讲会有头痛 headaches fever。 然后那个恶心，好，那晚期开始会有那个颈部会有僵直，然后 confusion 就是思考混乱，然后开始会有loss of balance， 然后开始会有一些幻觉，好，那个hallucination。过去从美国或其他一些研究发现 ，usually is the 1 to 3 ppm is enough for kill the trophoniform。 它只是偶发的事件，所以民众不要恐慌。
A Formosan black bear nicknamed Li Gaowan has been released back into the wild. The 3-year-old male bear was rescued after being caught in a snare trap in southeastern Taidong County in April. An operation removed part of his paw, and afterwards, Li Gaowan made a smooth recovery. Indigenous residents of the area also made a blessing before the bear was released back into the wild. Not everyone lost their job, but for one man in Taipei, his profession is quite literally in his bones. Joyson has this report on the fossil repairer who cleans up some of the world's rarest dinosaur remains.
What you're looking at is the world's only Triceratops skull with the flesh on its cheek still intact. It's one of Taiwanese paleontologist Xiao Yufu's most prized possessions. The skull was unearthed in the U.S. state of Montana and was shipped to Xiao's studio in Taiwan to be cleaned up and restored.
可以看到这个皮肤的这个纹路，就是一条一条，然后层状的那个褶皱，然后堆积在这边。
Xiao loved dinosaurs from childhood. At 21, he left Taiwan for Germany to learn about fossil restoration. He now has over 30 years' experience handling some of the world's most precious prehistoric remains. Another treasured find is this skull. It's also from a Triceratops discovered in Montana, and it's the most complete skull of this type of dinosaur. Xiao says when he's digging out the bones, it's the stories that are unearthed with them that he finds the most fascinating.
可能是被暴龙这样大口咬掉了以后，然后它没有因为这样子就死亡。像这边就有被食肉龙类的爪去抓的痕迹。你看这个是爪尖，就这样子扣着，3个这样扣着，这样抓的痕迹。
Once Xiao finishes examining and restoring the fossils, some are sent back overseas to museums or private collectors. Others go up for auction. Xiao says it's a true international effort, given that dinosaurs and other creatures from the Mesozoic period did not exist in the part of the world where Taiwan is today.
你就必须跟像在美国挖掘团队、德国、法国、英国，就各国，就这些他们在挖掘的团队有很深的这个合作关系。
Xiao has also trained up a team of fossil restorers to work with him, including his son. They've also taken on local projects like preserving the remains of a blue whale, the first to be found beached on the shores of Taiwan in 2020. Its 20-meter-long skeleton is now at a marine biology museum in the southern county of Pingtung. And it's thanks to careful and patient restorers like Xiao that such rare fossils can make it to some of the most visited museums around the world, unearthing stories along with the bones. Patrick Chen and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Gaoliang is Taiwan's best-known alcoholic spirit, but the sorghum used to make it is mainly imported from China. Now, Taiwanese farmers are trying to make their own. Louise Watt reports.
This is sorghum, a cereal used to make gaoliang, an as high as 58% proof fermented spirit that's considered Taiwan's national liquor. The country imports most of its sorghum from China. But in fields like these, Taiwanese farmers are now trying to grow more of their own. The Farmers Association has joined forces with Jinmen Distillery, a county government-owned company that makes Taiwan's best-known gaoliang. It's launching its first 100% Taiwan-made sorghum liquor, following a 3-year partnership with farmers.
6个农会呢，1100万公斤左右。那今年估计到明年应该会翻倍。
That's still far short of the tens of thousands of tons of sorghum Taiwan imports each year. But for the farmers, it's not about reducing imports. Some rice farmers are turning to sorghum to deal with water shortages in their areas.
在水不够的状态之下，它靠一些雨水仍然可以生长，所以说农民也非常肯定说，为了在气候变迁条件不佳的状况之下，高粱的这个杂粮是我们水稻转型的另外一条路。
As well as needing less water than rice, Taiwan's agriculture ministry says growing sorghum can save on labour costs. It's also offering a 50% subsidy to help farmers' associations set up storage facilities and buy machinery, hoping this will encourage Taiwanese farmers to get into the spirit of growing sorghum. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. I'm Yvonne Young. Take care, and I'll see you next time.